Nate from Nate's Fish, and I wanted to make a quick video talking about the top 5 ways to kill your fish. So number 1 is overfeeding. Overfeeding is an easy mistake. We think we need to get our fish fat and full and they just keep eating and eating, but it's actually the opposite. Fish don't need much food. They will eat food and then it goes through their system real quick, and then they'll eat that, their own poop pretty much, because they don't absorb all the nutrients the first time round. And they can go a long time without food. If you went 2 weeks without feeding them, most likely you're not going to lose any fish. So don't overfeed your fish. Better to play it safe and feed them the smallest amount of food. Number 2 is using chemicals. So that's going to be like soaps and whatnot, bleach, when you're trying to clean a tank out or get it started for, setting up a new tank or something like that. Don't use any chemicals. It's rare you're ever going to need to do that. It's just not worth it because you're going to be rinsing it out over and over again, and there's always going to be some little residue, and chemicals really do hurt fish way more than any dirt or anything else, really. Unless you got the T virus in your tank or on your aquarium supplies, then no soap. And number 3 is introducing new plants or fish. And to talk about that a little bit more in detail, obviously you're going to be adding new fish and new plants all the time, most likely. But you do have to keep in mind you probably want a quarantine tank, which is just another tank setup that's for any new things you're adding, because you don't want to have some disease on them or some creatures on those plants or wherever you get them from, right? If you get them from eBay or whatever, or online, they could be from some other state that has some other creatures. You're trying to mix them with your, creatures in your tank. It's just not, you don't want that mix. So the best thing to do is set up a quarantine tank so they can sit for a while, see if they're sick, and really monitor them. And when they seem like they're pretty safe, then you can slowly introduce them into your tank. Number 4 is having bad filtration, and this can be biological or it can be artificial, right? It can be plants or it can be your hang on the back filter or sponge filter, whatever it is. You're gonna want to have, I usually go the route of plants because plants are usually just easier, and you're gonna have that, it needs to balance out. And having plants, it's like an adjustable filter. When you have plants, they're gonna adjust to the amount of nutrients they have, and once they cap out, then they might die some. But plants are my favorite way. If you want to go the route of something more artificial, then make sure it's made for your tank, and it's better to go above and beyond what it needs than to not have enough, right? And again, the plant route, I would rather lose some plants because they don't have enough nutrition and waste to thrive on than losing my fish. Usually, at least my fish are more expensive than my plants, and I just care about them more. And number 5, the last one I have, is shock. One of the killers of fish is gonna be shock, and that means temperature, just any big change into your aquarium or pond or whatever it is. You're gonna want to try to avoid that as much as you want, right? Avoid that like the plague. You don't want to shock your fish and have them like, oh man, it just went from 80 degrees to 30 degrees in like an hour. Stuff like that will absolutely kill your fish. If you're making any changes to your aquarium, make sure that you're doing it slowly. You don't want, unless it's something where they're actively dying from it. But if you're changing the temperature, or you want those kind of changes to be slow. You don't want to shock your fish because they'll die just from it changing too quickly, right? So make sure to make changes slowly. Let them adjust slowly. And that's all I had on my list, so I hope you're having a great day. I'm Nate from Nate's Fish, and consider subscribing if you want more tips or you just want to follow my journey. I have more pond updates coming real shortly. I'm working on a fountain. Big things are going on. Real busy season. So yes, consider subscribing, and again, have a great day.